All right, it is a another Frozen 4 weekend. Unfortunately, my team is out. They were defeated by Penn State, and right now, Sunday, Penn State is taking on University of Connecticut, UConn, who actually lost in the Hockey East. UMaine beat UConn for the Hockey East Championship, and now UConn is going up against who just recently beat UNMO. Neither here nor there. Every game is a different game. Right now, I'll do a slight variation, something that I always get the big. Going to be a half and half butterscotch and white chocolate oatmeal cookie. All right. So, uh, then instead of the standard 350 degrees Fahrenheit, these are 375. Generally, I believe it's about 10 minutes or so. But currently, I'm looking at a cup and a quarter of flour. Right here, I have half a cup of butter and my 3/4 cup of brown sugar, because you know how that gets when you haven't used it and it's partial. Yeah, it gets solid. So here it goes. And 2 eggs, 3 cups, 3 cups of oats, have a teaspoon of salt, baking soda, or have a half teaspoon of cinnamon, and let's see. This is my mixture of the oats. We're gonna get a half teaspoon of baking soda, not to be confused with baking powder. They are relative. They are different. So we get the eggs. And, search over. There we go. Yes, 2 sticks is better. Which one's to put in first? Actually, I'm gonna put a cover on this, see if I can get these mixed up a little bit, because right now it's all, I might prevent it from all being one-sided. Yes. Uh, haven't done too badly. It's Monday will be the start of week 3 of management course that I'm currently doing at Hutta, and setting in 96 roughly. But I had a little bit of a breakout or roadblock that occurred last week. On Wednesday, I was texted just before I was about to punch out of work. One of those days that I actually do something other than coming here and whatever. But it was a text from my little sis, and apparently my dad was in the hospital. I was not told that he had been there since the night before, but that's water under the bridge. But they were checking his heart, and he does have a pacemaker. They did release him. It was having to do with logistics and a little bit of the overnight type of care. So fortunately, I was actually off for the rest of the week. So little sister came home. Stepsis came pick me up to get his truck to take that home. Little sis goes home. I do the overnight. He is unaware that I'm going to be doing. And he's actually getting up there a little bit so that things have started. Uh, he's trying a little bit different thing. He's out of the hospital. We went and did some shopping over at work to get things. After he dropped me off, I spent a couple of days there, did some observations, and made some of the recommendations that I felt that I could. So does that sound like the paint mixer at Home Depot? No, not too bad. Not too bad. So normally you would take a quote complete bag, full bag of one of the two, but since I've done a mixer, I basically cut them in half. So that's that's what we're looking at, white and butterscotch. Actually, I'm not thinking that I'm going to use the beater, you know, it could just be working with thread and just go to folding the oats. If the hockey game actually started at 4:30, about 15 minutes ago, got it on mute right now. Be interested to see what has happened since they dropped. Tonight, tonight would be the conclusion of the other contestant for the final four. There I have two. One is a Big Ten, the other is a Hockey East. This one is between a Big Ten and a Hockey East. And tonight's is between a Big Ten and a Hockey East. It's actually, tonight will be a rematch between last year's championship of Denver and Boston College. I watched both of the preliminary games that the two has played. And actually, Denver took care of their competitor a lot quicker and a lot easier than Boston College did with theirs. Boston College, it took them until the last 77 seconds of the game to break the 1-1 tie. Okay, let's grab that. Should be able to get maybe about 3 dozen out of this. We'll make sure it's all fairly well done. I just noticed something. It makes it a little deceiving or trying to determine whether is all the oats have been dried or is that is one of the white chocolate morsels. And you can use spray pan. I like using parchment paper on it. Makes it a lot easier for in between. And one is for one that has multiple feet. Uh, actually, it's got a demo format. Yeah, right. Don't know if yours are as difficult as mine to get. Just so happens to happen on my day off. Actually, I had to take a day off to go home and make it. And taking a day off, I have to plan it 3 weeks in advance because that's how long I project out the schedule. There's a lot of logistics goes into getting a business appointment. Hope that they will have everything cleaned up since it started snowing at about 9:30, 10 o'clock this morning. And later on, in just a bit, we're going to change over from sleet to freezing rain and then now back to rain. So it's quite a quite a ball of wax from now until from this morning until Monday morning. All right, here we go. The first batch. That one. All right, so with those are 375, we're looking at about 7 to 8 minutes, and we'll flip that out, let them cool, pop in another batch, and check on the hockey score. All right, take care.